How's it going, everybody? I'm just getting set up. All right. What's up, Raven? How's it going, man? Yay. How's it going? Black Bob Ross. That's an awesome name. All right. So, yeah, let's continue going on this. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes. Nice. I just started, just barely. Man, these hands are bugging me. So, yeah, how is everybody doing? How was your week? Blance, how's it going? Blue Fire Sound, welcome back. I'm just gonna make these little, whoa, focus symmetry. Just make these a little bigger. I don't know. Too big, probably. So, to make this vest, I did this quickly offline just to try it out. I just did, I masked this off, and I did, I should just show you guys, but it worked pretty good. Yay, prime time Sunday night, right? Okay, and as soon as Kyle gets here, if he shows up, or Kingsley or somebody, I need to ask him about music. I just was wondering if you guys wanted music or not, or does it matter? I have to wear my headphones to listen to it, and they're kind of bulky. But Resner's Rage, how's it going? Oh, to explain Dynamesh Master? Sure, that's cool. Yeah, let's do it. I'll show you really quick. So I'm on the body here. Let's see. This is something I would Dynamesh. Let me turn the color off so it's more children friendly here. Okay, so let me see where this is at. Okay, this has been Z-remeshed, but I'll duplicate it off and then solo it, so this is all we have. Okay, so if I wanted to, hey Selena, how's it going? Yay, welcome everyone. Nick, good to see you again. Oh no, that doesn't sound fun. Okay, so when I Dynamesh, I usually try and subdivide it first, because otherwise it will keep these polygonal edges here in the actual thing. So I'm gonna hit Control D a couple times. Let's see, which it's already been subdivided 3 times, so we're good. So to use dynamic subdivision, it's a plugin by Joseph Drust, and I can't remember who else. There's another guy, a programmer, that helped Joseph make this, and I fail at his name, but it's a plugin, and if you just search ZBrush Central, you can find it, or just Dynamesh Master ZBrush on Google, and you'll find it. You just download it, install it, and it's here. This is what it looks like. And what's unique about it is it doesn't keep Dynamesh on all the time. It only Dynameshes when you want it to. So you don't accidentally Dynamesh by holding down Control and dragging on the background. And it always Dynameshes pretty high. So this poly count in the millions, this stands for 1.5 million polygons. And I usually just leave it at that. So what it does is it tries to hit 1.5 million polygons. So you can see right now the active points are 281,000. Well, if I wanted to sculpt on this and sculpt any kind of detail, I'm not going to be able to get extremely high detail with this. So what I'll usually do is I'll Dynamesh master it. So does that Does that make sense? Okay, so this is different than the Dynamesh over here. So if you look at Dynamesh right here, with this resolution, it's kind of a guessing game. You don't really know what it's gonna do when you set this, and Dynamesh will stay on all the time. So you'll accidentally Dynamesh once in a while, or you'll forget to turn it off, but it's essentially the same kind of algorithm that it's doing over here, but it's more controlled and it's more predictable. So you can say, hey, I want 1.5 million polys. So I'll use that all the time. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not going to do it right now, but that's what it does. And I prefer using Dynamesh Master over regular Dynamesh, unless I'm blocking out characters for the first time, and I don't need 1.5 million polygons. That's when I will just use regular Dynamesh. So let's delete that. Okay, so let's turn this back on. So while I was offline, like I said, I just made this vest, and all I did was I duplicated the body, and then I masked this off, and then let's see, I'm trying to think. I masked it off, and then I used this thing called Edge Loop Masked Border, and what that does is that puts a really nice edge loop all the way around your masked area. And then it gives you, because there'll be little polygons next to each other, and what that does is it draws a line right along those edges, and then you can use, it's called Polish by Features right here underneath the deformation menu, Polish by Features, and that'll straighten out those lines really nice. And then you can isolate that piece and then delete hidden, so it'll get rid of everything that's not the vest. Then you can use the panel loops to add thickness. So it works out really cool. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Let's see. It's been a problem for every Wacom tablet for about 8 years. What? Man. What is going on? Are you in some kind of static country or something? I don't know. Okay, in episode 4 you moved the light around. Is there a way to reset it? So let's see. Oh, you didn't divide it, Blands. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so it showed the polygons when you actually, yeah. So if you subdivide it up and make it smooth, then it'll work. Okay, so to reset this light right here, all I do is every single session before I start using ZBrush, I will open a project, and that project has the light reset. And this is the project I start with. It's my own project because it has a ruler in it and it has a default sphere in there. And I share this with everybody. You can get it on my site, which is 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I just give it away. You can go get it and use it. But if not, then you can start with this default sphere. That works just as well. Just double click on that. It'll open the new project with that sphere in there, and then load your tool into there, and the light will be reset. But I don't know of a way to actually like go and just reset it, you know, like you're asking. So, okay. Yeah, I'm always guessing with Dynamesh. You usually end up just having it until it's, yeah, that's a pain, right? And another really cool thing about this Dynamesh Master plugin that I use all the time is this scale up and scale down, and scale up visible and scale down visible, because when you are trying to scale up your entire model or scale it down, you know, you think you could use Transpose Master, go into the Transpose Master and then just scale it up and down and then go back. Well, what happens is it will lose your detail, like your detail will get inflated, or it'll like reverse on itself and not look good. So you actually have to scale up your model with, you know, all of the subtools all at once. And how you do that is with this. You can scale up just individual subtools, or you can scale up everything visible, or you can scale down all or scale up all. It's really, really cool. And this is scaling by 100. So this is essentially like, you know, the size over here, how you can crank something up 100, like scale it 100. Well, essentially what this does is it runs this size algorithm on every single subtool that you have. So you can scale your entire model down by 100 all at once. And it's super, super handy. So I recommend using this, taking advantage of that. So, okay, let's see. Nick. On Google problem, you find forum posts the same problem. That's so crazy. Pop out with no pressure. You know, I have a Cintiq. I'm working on a Cintiq, and once in a while, it will just lose the tablet. You know, it just won't recognize it anymore. So you have to go in and reset. There's an Ask ZBrush about it actually that Joseph put together. If you do Ask ZBrush tablet something, you'll probably find it. So, Arkamil, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay, let's see. What is that? Dynamesh Master that scales. Yes, that is Dynamesh Master. It's a plugin for free that you can go get on ZBrush Central. Just search Google for Dynamesh Master. Nick Miller, thank you. Yes, I really wanted to give him credit because he was a big part of that. So, yep, it's super cool. Okay, so what I kind of wanted to do was just get the wrist guards in there, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made this vest by making the new wrist guards, just so you can see it. So I'm going to duplicate this body, hide the other one. Remember in the last couple streams, I'm like, anytime you make a new piece of armor, duplicate what you're drawing it on, because you'll most likely destroy it. So, oh, they have it on Gumroad, huh? Hey, Regenator, how's it going? I wanted to call you Regenerator, like a troll. You regenerate. Regenerate, that's cool. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to mask it off. And what I'd like to do is use the mask lasso, like this mask lasso. And you'll notice with mask lasso, if you start to draw, you have a straight edge. See, everything is round, but you still have a straight edge. So I like to use that straight edge. Like I will start over here, go around and end over here somewhere. So then I can use that straight edge, and then I'll check it from all sides to see how it works, see how it looks. I'm gonna go a little higher with this. There you go. And I'm not sure how close to the wrist it goes. And then to tighten up the mask, you can hold down Control plus Alt and tap on the surface, and it'll tighten that mask right up. Okay, and then this is what I wanted to show you. So if we go to look at our wireframe, and I'm going to delete lower so it doesn't have any subdivisions, so you can see all the geometry. But watch what happens when I hit edge loop mask border. So it puts this edge loop on the mask border. You can kind of see it right here. And it's super slick, but I think I want to bring it up higher away from this wrist a little bit before I do that. Like, this hand is so gimpy. Don't look at it. I'm not proud of that hand. It's not looking very good. Okay, edge loop mask border. And you'll see that it kind of made, there's a few little lumpies in here. So what you can do is go to deformation and then crank up polish by features. And see how it straightens that line out? Polish by features, just crank that a couple times and it'll straighten that right out. And then it gets rid of those whoop-de-doos. That's the official term, by the way, whoop-de-doos. Then you can hide it. And then delete hidden. And then I'm going to color it. Why not? We're here. Color it. So what I want to do now is it's too dense because it was Dynamesh that has too many polygons. So let's go back and show the body. You can see how it's sitting on the wrist now. You haven't started using polygroups yet. Oh man, polygroups. Yeah, there's no other way. No other way. Okay, so you can see that it's too dense now. So I'm going to go back to ZRemesher under geometry, and then I have all this stuff open. Let's go to ZRemesher, and I'm going to remesh this on, I'm going to try 1000, which is still probably too dense, but there you go. And then let's go less than 1000, so 0.5. You You can Z-remesh gosh, that's hard to say. You can Z-remesh a Z-remeshed mesh until it gets lower and lower. Okay, let's just go to 0.1 and see what it does. There we go, super low. Now it's nice. And then, oh, how's it going, Meow Sparky? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now I'm gonna just panel loop this thing. So remember in our last streams, what we could do is we could extrude the polys with the Z Modeler brush, or we could panel loop it, you know, to add some bevel if we wanted. But since this is going to have a border, see this big, like this squid thing is wrapped all around it. So yeah, it's like Dr. Seuss, right? Z-remesh mesh, the bee watcher. So let's see. I think I'm just going to extrude it with the Z Modeler brush. That's the easiest. So if you hover over a polygon, push spacebar, hit extrude by polygroup all, because I want to do the whole thing. And then just go whoop, adding thickness. There you go. Now we have thickness. Easy bunch easy. So that's kind of how I did this vest. It's pretty much just like that. Okay, and now I want to let's see, should we make that squid? Would that be fun? Or make the collar? So I was gonna cheat. See how this overlaps itself in the front? You can go to all the detail of like physically wrapping the geometry on top of each other, but since this is a toy and it's going to get projected to like a game model, if you make a game model out of it, you don't necessarily need to build it all out. You know, like in the days of old, when I was a Maya box modeler, I would actually physically go in there and spend hours and model this stuff out, right? But the days of ZBrush and like combining things and just building out what you see instead and kind of faking it, a little bit of smoke and mirrors, because time is money and you need to get it done. And since this has kind of a pipe around the base of this vest, I was just gonna build that pipe out as a separate subtool and make it look like it's being overlapped when it's not really, right? And then this collar, I would build this out and overlap this, and I'm not quite sure if I would, you know, model that in physically or not, or just lay it down. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's just something I was thinking about. So I think I might build out that squid. It looks pretty fun. So let's see. I always have trouble making sharp masks. Is it because I don't have enough geometry? Yes. Yeah, you need, so, and you can also do that edge looped mask border. That'll give you a super nice edge if that's what you're going for. But yeah, geometry count is quite big. So, do we not have any Pixelogic peeps here yet? Hey Mortar, how's it going? I do my own 3D printing and usually do not work in color. Ever issues the model? So, yes. That's, well, when I used to work on Disney Infinity, and we'd make those little, like these little Disney Infinity characters, like this guy missing his arm. I just have him sitting there, but so he's all in gray, and we have to do that exact same thing. We have to. I'll turn off all the color, and I'll turn on this shader that I like to. It's called ZBrush Gray. So I fixed that before I started streaming, Mortar. So this ZBrush Gray will turn the whole thing gray, and then you can hold down. See these little these paintbrush icons? You can hold down Shift and turn them all off, and then switch this to like a white, and you can see it in gray, and that's how you can feel like if the depth is enough, or if it's cutting in far enough, or if you have your eyelashes are thick enough, you know, so they'll pull out of a mold, stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. I'll also use this other one called ZBrush modeling, and it's a little bit different, but it shows the surface really well, the surface quality, so you can see if you have undulations or whoop-de-doos or whatever you want to call them. So that's what I do. But when I'm usually when I'm modeling, I want to see my colors and all that stuff, so I'll turn all the colors on. And there we go. Let's fill. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think about how I'm going to build this this octopus out, and I think what I'm going to do is somebody was asking me this the other day, like, how do you? It's hard to break out of that mindset of polygon modeling, you know, when you're used to just extruding faces and building stuff out and sewing everything together and keeping it all together, and it's kind of this back and forth between a technical artist puzzling it all out and a real, you know, a normal artist where you're trying to figure out the design at the same time. You're both sides of your brain are working together to figure this out. But with ZBrush, if you think of it in like modular, like I'm building out all of the pieces. So with this squid, for example, this body thing is going to be a piece, and then the eyelids will be separate pieces, and then the eyeballs themselves will be separate pieces. So you don't have to build them up like you're extruding stuff, if that makes sense. You can just build it how you're going to build it. So let's I'm going to try something. So I'm going to duplicate these wrist guards, and then what I want to do is extrude them out. Like, I'm going to do the mask just like I did with building these bracers, but I'm going to start to get more defined here. So I need to make sure I have enough geometry. Let's see, so Control D a couple times, and I'm going to hide the other ones. That's one thing, you're like, if you ever you're modeling and you realize, like, this isn't working, why am I pushing this in but it's not getting pushed in? Make sure you have its clone hidden. So that happens all the time. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna actually paint this on here. I'm going to hide I'm gonna hide everything except for this surface, and then delete hidden. Let's see. Oh, because I have multiple subdivision levels, I'm gonna delete them. Now delete hidden. So delete hidden doesn't work if you have subdivision levels. Okay. Now let's try to paint the mask on. I'm going to subdivide it a couple more times so I can get it more detailed. Why is this so slow? Okay. Let's see. Man, this is running really slow. How far did I go? It's only 113 polys, but I don't know if it's my machine trying to stream or what, but let's see. Why most of ZBrushes have a tablet pressure? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question for like Joseph Drust or Paul. That'd be a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out why this is going so slow. And I just hope it doesn't destroy the stream because my CPU will start cranking. Look at how slow. Come on, ZBrush, you can do it. I'm gonna solo this and see if that helps. No. What the heck? It's just a simple piece of geometry. Come on. Okay. I'm obviously having some display problems, so I'm going to save it just in case. I might have to restart ZBrush here. 30 seconds, no kidding. Okay, it's really having some problems. All of a sudden, for some reason. Okay. Yep, I'll answer your questions while this is rebooting. I'm just gonna shut it down and restart it really quick. So, sorry about that. Can you guys see my background? Loading. Okay. Is there a way to subdivide multiple subtools at once? Yes. Well, like physically subdivide, I don't think so. Cool, thanks. I think, gosh, I mean, you can go to, if you already have everything subdivided, you can go all high or all low, but I don't think you can do that. Yep, exactly. Hey, it's Guz. What's up, Guz? How's it going, man? Do you like this? Do you like this model I'm working on? All right, here we go. You guys, Guz is here. If you are a fan of cool models, go check out his stuff because he does some amazing things, and he's getting better every day. He's blown right past me in skill. You gotta check it out. Okay, what am I doing? I'm opening the model again. Here we go. Guz, I believe you have mastered the fiber mesh brush. I'm just gonna say that right now. Hey, how's it going? You've returned. Yep, just in time. Okay, let me load up. Whatever. I try, dude. I try. Okay, let me load up my art again. Okay, and we're back. Hopefully, we're better this time. Oh, I know. I'm sorry, you guys. So I'm working on this course, and I keep getting freelance work, and so the freelance work keeps pushing my course back a little here and there. It's freelance work that I can't turn down. It's really good, so I want to make sure I take care of those guys. And so I just finished it up. Gosh dang, I don't know why this is going so slow still. Hey Raven. Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Yeah, go check out Guz's fiber mesh stuff. He's a master at it. Hey Ash, how's it going? Okay, you master ZBrushers that are in here with me. Have you ever had this happen before, where you're masking? I'm trying to mask this, and it's just creeping along insanely slow. And this is only like 113,000 polys. What's going on? Oh, psh, you are correct, sir. Mortar, you're correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah, who's the master now, right? Oh my gosh, thank you guys. Oh, that was it. I'm a dummy. I reset ZBrush for no reason. Ashley never sleeps. 10:30. You're like, are you East Coast? You are East Coast. Did I miss anything? Yeah, the money. You know, that dynamic subdivision, it gets me more times than anything in here, I swear. Okay. But I'm glad it's not, I'm glad it's me, not ZBrush, honestly. Okay, so let's see. And here's where I left off, you guys. Ash, these people just joining the stream. This is kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm just building out this squid. Yeah, so Guz, why Instagram? I'm just curious. Why not, like, I don't know, like Twitch or something? It's just, the only reason I ask is because it's kind of hard to see what you're doing at that. Because Instagram is like square video, you know? Oh, thanks, Ash. You guys, Ashley also streams on here with Pixelogic. You probably already know that, but if you don't, give her a follow. She does awesome, awesome creatures. Crazy cool creatures. Yeah, lazy. Okay. Oh, you just start on your phone? How do you do it on your phone? Like, do you just record your screen with your phone? Oh, thanks. Yeah, where's 3D Aspie speaking about the Link Master Flash? He's usually the Link guy. As soon as I say his name, he's going to show up. Okay. So it looks like... oh, yeah. Yeah, you should. Guys, that's crazy. But, I mean, it works. It works. Looks pretty good, so... Okay, looks like all these squids or octopi, I don't know what they are, have 4 tentacles. So I guess, I don't even know how many tentacles squids have. Are they 4? Are they 6? Guess I should do research, but I'm just following the concept, so. Let's go bigger. Whoop. Oh, his kids were sick? Oh, that stinks. Hey, Squid Tank, how's it going? 8 plus 2 arms? Oh, yeah, they have those, like, those crazy things that grab pirate ships and pull them down, right? So I guess this is just a design decision. Let's call that a design decision. Where they have 4. So I'm going to make them these a little more organic. Whoop. Kind of arc in. Whoa. So Ashley, I have a question for you. With music. Yeah, Kraken. Yeah, it is right now. I have some drawings, the preliminary drawings that Johannes did. This is Johannes Helgeson art that he did this, and he allowed me to model it. So, this is all I'm using. I'm not really following any realistic creatures or anything like that. So, okay, Ash. Yeah, about the music. So, did you see in the? Well, I guess my question is the outer tone. Do you know if all of their music is license free, or is it like a specific album that's license free? Anyway, because if you don't know, if you stream on Twitch with music and the music is copyrighted, it will cut you off. Like, it'll mute your music and your voice, and that wouldn't be good for replays. So I'm trying to find some license-free music, and we were talking about it. Yeah, outer tone. Oh, okay. I thought you used them for music sometimes. It was mentioned in the Pixo group. So, okay. All right. This doesn't look like much, but I think I'm going to also add another ring around the... You can't really see it because her hands are hiding where the bracer ends, but just for consistency, I'm going to put another ring around here. Oh yeah, it was someone else. I just wondered if you were using it or not. Okay. Sorry, this is boring. Boring. Okay. So let's just do that really quick. Do mask by edge loop mask border. Oh, gotta kill the subdivision levels. Okay, delete lower. Shame stream. Oh, what's up, Tinky? How do you say your name? Tinky me. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna try and tighten this mask up a little bit, and then edge loop mask border. Okay. There we go. Delete hidden. Clear the mask. It's looking kind of cool. Then ZRemesh that bad boy. Let's start at about 1. 4 a.m. Where are you at? Yes. Okay. Let's go a little lower. Let's go try 0.5 and see what happens. Yeah, that's all I want. Something to sculpt on. Paris. Wow. Welcome. Okay. And see how I destroyed that bracer? That's why I duplicated it, because now we can show that other bracer again and kind of get an idea. Yes, I will be posing it for sure. Okay. I'm just going to extrude this out. Extrude. Polygroup all. Okay. But I want more. I also want to have the thickness go in, because I want the edges to this border to actually go all the way down to her skin. To her skin. So let me see if I can just move this. Let's see. Trying to remember what that is. It's not extrude. Well, I guess I can extrude it and then just delete the internal loops. Or not. I'll just leave it like that. You can't even see it. Yeah, a bunch of little cheaty tricks. Come on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Yes, cheaty tricks. Everybody needs. So here's a cheaty trick for you. I just like to throw out little tips here and there. So if you drag the transpose tool, see how it's actually snapping to the surface of the model. If you hold down shift, it will just snap to the plane of the camera. Not sure if you knew that or not, but it's super handy. Let's see, how much polygons did you have on the braces mesh that you extracted from? I didn't pay attention, but I had enough that it would hold the mask. So let's see, it was basically this subdivided up enough. I think it's like 4 subdivision levels or 5, something like that. Probably around 500 to 800,000 would do it, like close to 1 million. But it was just one It wasn't the interior of the bracer, it was just the exterior, just the outer edge. And if you didn't see, I had dynamic subdivision turned on as well, so that wasn't good. Thanks for you guys pointing that out. I was getting a little flustered there. Okay, so let's see. I kind of want this. See how it's all round? That squid. It's not. It doesn't have hard edges like this. Yeah, yeah. It will snap to certain angles, but it will also snap to the plane of the camera. So it's pretty cool. All right. So let's see. I'm going to turn my smooth down, my Z intensity a lot, to like a 3 or a 4. Yeah, 3. Let's see what happens. Got to turn that spotlight projection off. Okay. I'm going to try to inflate this. Whoop. Gosh. I think I'm inflating the bracer underneath, that's why. Yes, that would help if I'm on the right subtool, huh? So, alright. Yep. I love just popping in on people's streams. Hey, how's it going? See you later. It's good to see you. When are you streaming again? Give that little shout out. Okay, so let me show the wireframe on this. Here's another trick to get your camera to Wednesday. Awesome. Night. Take care. To get your camera to orbit around a certain point, all you have to do is tap on that point, and then the camera will reset and pivot. Not a lot of people know that either. It's crazy because a lot of people do, and I don't know who knows what. So if I think of something, I'll just say it. Also, I'm using the gosh, who told me? Oh, my friend Steve James. He said it's called Smart Smooth. Like, I guess Paul Gabry called it Smart Smooth. And Smart Smooth is when you hold down Shift to smooth, and then you let go of Shift while still smoothing. It does like a secondary algorithm. And I use that almost more than I use the regular smooth, because it basically relaxes the polygons across the surface instead of shrinking them down to nothing. It just kind of relaxes everything. As long as you have local though on, right? Oh, like this right here, local transformations. I think I leave that on all the time, so I don't know. Maybe. Man, my CPU is screaming tonight. My fans are flying. I think it's starting to get hotter here. I'm in Utah right now, and it was 78 today. And I'm resisting turning the AC on. This doesn't quite need to be on. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab I like to have things the color they are as soon as possible. I don't know why. I'm just that way. So if you turn on your ring, you can eyedrop the color with C. Just grab the color out of here and fill it. Then it's not so like bright in your face white. So let's see. Smart smoothing is awesome. I never knew that you could let go of Shift while smoothing. Yes. Yeah, that's one of those, I call them hidden gems, like a hidden ZBrush gem. Okay. Yeah, and there's so many of them too. So many hidden ZBrush gems. I'm still finding them all the time. Like I was saying in one of the other streams, I have a friend of mine, Steve James. you can see some of his work on ZBrush Central right along underneath the top row. There's some of his instructional videos and things. Well, he's a friend of mine. He lives here in Utah as well, and I used to work with him. And we still chat all the time because he's a freelancer and I'm a freelancer. And when we get lonely, we're like, hey, Steve, what's up? And he'll say, hey, have you tried this? Have you done this? So one of the new things I found out this week was if you guys ever use Transpose Master, that's this right here. And this is how you pose characters. If you go to the actual Z plugin right here of the Transpose Master, there's this button right here that says layer, right? So what that does is, I was making some morph targets for some contract work. I was doing some just different facial poses, you know, actual morph targets, not the ZBrush morph target, but so I had this head and I was doing like a smile and a frown and a, you know, different phonemes and things. Well, instead of opening up a file, doing the morph target and then saving it off, opening up a new one, saving it off, what you can do is hit that layer button, and then when you come back from pose, when you come back, it will put that pose into a layer on top of the character, which is super cool because then you can use a slider and slide from the neutral pose to like the new frown that you just made, and you can actually watch it morph back and forth. And if you're doing it just the old way, just, you know, modeling it and then shipping it off, you don't really know if it's going to look correct in animation or not. So it's a really good way to test it in animation. Although when you animate, you can only, or when you use the layer sliders, you can only do it to one subtool at a time. So if you want to see everything move at the same time, like the teeth and the tongue and the head and everything, you have to set up an animation and animate the layer sliders going back and forth so you can see it all at once. So anyway, that's just something I discovered this last week, is that you can push your transpose pose to a layer. I knew it was there, but I've never really used it, and since I used it, it was quite crazy cool. So there you go. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use this insert multi-mesh brush that I have. Also, I'm going to say again, these brushes down here and this user interface, if you're interested, I give these away on my website that you can see. Let me see, I'm pointing straight up. See, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you go there and you sign up, you can get my brushes and my user interface and my ruler file for free. And very, very soon, I have some free training coming out. Hopefully very soon. I'm trying, you guys. I really want to release it bad. Yeah, back and forth, layer after layer, for sure. Do I ever use HD modeling? I don't. I mean, I played with it once, but stylized characters, they don't really call for it too much. I'm not getting down in those super crazy high details. And if I ever do, I will usually do it in the texture. Like, so if I say I'm modeling this character and I want her vest to actually have leather, like really tight leather, like texture on it, you know, the little veins and things, I will do that in texture, and I will do that in normal maps, like with Endo, you know, like Photoshop plugin, or with Substance Painter or something like that. So I won't get that detailed in ZBrush, but I think Guz, I don't know, is he still here? Is Guz, are you still around? Because Guz has been doing it like crazy lately, and his surface detail is nuts. I don't think he uses HD though. Okay, here's another thing. See this little white dot? This will center your transpose tool in the middle of whatever you have unmasked. See that? Because I want to scale it down just a little bit, but I don't want to scale it from the edge of the sphere. I want to scale it from the center of the sphere. So if you just tap that little white dot, it'll center it. But you have to turn on local symmetry, and then you can scale it down on itself. Then if you hold down, with move selected, if you hold down control and grab this little white dot, you can duplicate it off. Let's see. Merge question. Sorry, I'm getting behind on my text here. Why doesn't merge visible add the merged model to your subtool like merge down? And I have no idea what merge similar does. Okay, so merge visible, that actually makes a brand new tool with all of your subtools together, and I use it a lot and I'm glad it does that. It doesn't. Yeah, merge down and merge visible are two different beasts. You're correct there. Like say I wanted to retopologize my entire model, or I wanted to export it or something like that, or I wanted to pose it, or send it to Maya, just all these different things, all these different reasons why I would want to duplicate it off as its own single mesh, or to do UVs or something like that. I'll use merge visible to export. That's a really convenient way to get them out of ZBrush. But to keep them in ZBrush, I don't ever really use merge visible. So merge similar, I haven't really used that much. Is it even here? Oh. So you can also, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can hold down Control on anything and it'll give you kind of this little message on what it will do. So it will merge things that have similar poly counts. And honestly, out of my, I don't know, 6-7 years of using ZBrush, I've never used merge similar because I don't know that there's a reason to, if that makes any sense. But merge visible I use for the purposes of what I said. Okay, let's see. Back and forth. I've been trying out ZBrush and seem to struggle with more organic things like characters in general. Oh, Autodesk 3D Studio Max. That's what I started with, is 3D Studio Max. And I was pretty decent at it, but there's so much demand for sculptors who specialize in things like prop or things like houses, rooms. Oh, are you asking if there is a demand? Yes, there is a demand for sculptors. I wouldn't say you're a sculptor necessarily because you're not doing it in ZBrush. You're more of a modeler, like a prop modeler or a building modeler, architectural modeling. And yes, there are plenty of jobs doing props, and they're called world architects or world designers. And I have a lot of friends that they do that for a living. So, and sometimes they'll use ZBrush mostly for tiled textures. So like rocks and things, you can bring those into ZBrush and like detail out rocks and ground, and there's different uses for it for sure. If that answers your question. Oh, okay, you don't use HD either. There you go. Guz answered the question. Thanks, Guz. So, Guz, I have the question for you. What do you usually use? Like, dude, that last model with the little character holding that bear that's all super fuzzy and awesome, what did you use to make that texture? It sounds super cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome. I need to learn how to do that. Some of my characters, man. Okay, why have I ever clicked on that white dot? Yeah, he bites. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yeah, that white dot is it's new to 4R7, but 4R7 has been out for a while. And 4R8 has even crazier manipulation tools that are coming, so get ready for those. Let's see. I will model more structural things in 3D and import it. So there are a lot of people that will do that. They'll model stuff in Maya, and then they'll subdivide it down and bring it into ZBrush and subdivide it down and add the details. That happens a lot. So, but with organic characters, it happens less. Me personally, I would rather build a character in here from scratch rather than box model it in Maya, just because I don't want to think about the geometry until the end when I'm ready to make a game character out of it, if that makes any sense. So, okay. Let's see. I'm going to start building this up. And I don't want to affect these eyeballs now that I have them in here. but I'm just making these more and more round. Because, okay, a lot of subdivisions, but maybe my PC starts to cry. Yeah. Yep. Oh man. Oh hey, how's it going, Timothy? Welcome to the stream. Yay. Thanks for the kind words. Yep. So speaking of course, I'm working on a course right now that's been in the works for 2 years. I'm right at the very, very end of it. It's quite large. It's my baby. And I will be releasing that hopefully. I don't want to promise anything, but I'm really hoping within the next week or two. That's my goal. But I've been doing some freelance work lately, so it's kind of pushed it back a little bit because I got laid off not too long ago, and I've gone full-time contract for now until I figure stuff out. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get my course out, so because that will help a lot. And if you're interested in the course, just go sign up on 3dcharacterworkshop.com to get the brushes and the user interface. That will put you on my newsletter and my emailing list. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the course, the actual, oh, that's why, geez. I was like struggling with, I'm trying to push this. See how there's like this, where they come together? I'm trying to push this up there, but it has some, has some poly groups, and when I mask this off, it masked this poly group and it wasn't letting me push it up. So, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to poly group that into its own group by itself. There we go. Smooth this out. Okay. And what was I going to say is the course, the host that I'm hosting it on is really student user friendly, and it's an awesome experience. So, I mean, it keeps track of your progress and tells you how what you have left, and it's pretty cool. It's hard to explain, but it keeps track of everything. It's awesome. And I can kind of watch. I can watch everybody go through the course and how much they've seen, and like I can stalk my students a little bit. So if they get stuck, I can say, "Hey, I saw that you watched this thing, but you're not going any further. Can I help you?" You know. And it's kind of I call it a casually mentored course. So it's not a hardcore mentored where you talk to me every single week. You know, you have like every Friday. You know, it's you can submit your stuff to the Facebook group and whatever as you want, as you need help. You can ask for it. So, and yep, thanks, Blans. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, let's put in some eyelids. And I take you all the way through a whole entire character from start to finish, including posing and rendering and 3D printing and making a game character, all of it. All of it. That's why it's so big. Yes, beginners all the way from beginners, not like super green beginners that don't even know how to navigate. So you at least need to know how to do some navigation and some super basic stuff. But yeah, it goes from beginners all the way to advanced. So if I don't finish the lessons, I'll visit you at night like a stalker. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Hey, why haven't you finished that lesson? Why aren't you done yet? What are you doing? It's super creepy, just like that. I have a couple beta testers going through it right now, and they're putting out some really cool work. So I can't wait. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to duplicate this off, and then make some eyelids. Eyelids. Duplicate. Delete. Hidden. Let's see. Oh, Cutie Curls, welcome to the stream. Thanks. I hope so. I hope people enjoy it. Will be okay. Set level of knowledge. I can't. I'm not going to reveal the cost right now. You'll have to go through and see how much it costs. So I can't. Because then if I tell you the cost, that's all you're going to think about. So I'll let you decide if it's worth the value or not. Let's see. When she is posed and finished, will you go show us the process for turning her into an STL file? I don't know if I'm going to get that far with this one. Like I said, I do in my course, but I don't know with this specific one if I'll get that far. We'll see. Tons of subtools. Yes, lots and lots. HE Bytes, thank you. Awesome. I love seeing people signing up, getting ready for it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this clip curve brush. I can do this one of two ways. So yeah, I'm going for Raven. I'm going for value. So it's not like it's. I hope I price it for what its value is. So okay, let me explain this. This move, if you have it on move, right? And I want to put the transpose tool basically where I want the geometry to be squished to. And then if I just right click, which I have my right click set to my pen right here. And then if I right click and click right here, it's going to squish this down. See that? And there's my eyelids essentially. The other way you can do it is with the clip curve brush. And what you can do is essentially the same thing, but now you have a line that you can move around, and then you can just clip it off that way. So it's the same thing. Not a biggie. So let's see. Yeah, and it's also kind of limited time. I don't want to get too many students in there and get overwhelmed. Then I can't really talk to anybody because everybody's like, I just picture me on the phone going, hello, 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 but on, typing to everybody. But I do want to give video feedback and like drawovers and things like that as much as I possibly can. So I'm excited to see how well that goes. I hope it goes well. Because I'm trying something new with it. Okay, so I'm going to show. I want to scale this eyelid up. Also, if you don't have ZBrush yet, they have down here, right here, they have a place where you can get the trial. And then if you want to learn some of the ZBrush basics, they have this thing called Ask ZBrush that Joseph Drust does. And they also have Z Classroom where you can learn a bunch of stuff about ZBrush. So that's a good place to start if you're wanting to get started right away. Okay, right now I'm just scaling these up. I don't care if they overlap a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Then I want to kind of looks like he's a sleepy squid, right? Then I want to roll these up. So I'm going to turn the camera to the side. Kind of, and thanks everybody for signing up. Makes me stoked. I cannot believe how many people are interested. Okay, so I'm going to crank it up. Whoops, not dynamic. There we go. And then I'm going to, I want to kind of arc them on the top here. Oh yeah, yeah. The Ask ZBrush is great. And welcome to the stream, Isle of Skye. That's a cool name. Yeah, Joseph is awesome at doing that stuff. And if you guys can make it out to the ZBrush Summit, I love meeting people in person and yapping about ZBrush and sculpting and all sorts of stuff. It's a great community, it really is. They put on a really good show and get to meet a lot of people. It's in Hollywood, so that's kind of fun. Let's see. Yeah, lazy surprised face. What's up? Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate these, and then I'm going to see what happens if I just try and spin them around. Ooh. If I can quickly create the lowers. You can turn on this transparent to kind of see where they're at. I'll need to push this in the middle. What location in Hollywood, or does it know? It's always at the Noman School, so it's like down, it's like Hollywood right there. I'm not sure the exact street, but been trying to get Guz to come down there, but he's got a long ways to travel. Maybe Pixelogic will send you Guz. Just enter the sculpt off and stuff, or do a workshop or something like that. Maybe they'll bring you. All right. So if you notice right here how you can move one at a time, you just turn on this topological. This is topological masking. So I'll undo that. If I have this turned off, it moves them both together like this. If I turn it on, I can move whichever one I touch first. So then I can separate them a little bit. Not that you can see it here, but... Whoops, come on. Okay. Ah. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mystic. I think I want the eyes farther apart, so in order to do that, what I want to do is organize my subtools on it a little bit better. So I have this guy, and it also has the eyes with it, so I'm going to separate the eyes from this part. So what I do is hide it and just say split hidden, and it will split this off. And then I have my eyeballs, my lowers, or my uppers and my lowers. So I'm going to merge down twice. And now they're all together. And then I can go like, I can use this thing called auto groups, and it puts everything in its own group. But what the problem is, it will get rid of symmetry as far as polygroups go. So I want to use mirror weld. I'll use mirror and weld, and what that'll do is that'll bring the polygon, or the polygroups, the same ones, over on this side. So now if I select one, it's mirrored. Otherwise, all the moves I do over here, it would ignore over here. So, hey T Marshall, how's it going, man? I'm just building out these bracers, so not too much. I'm just making these eyeballs wider. They're a little too close. So I'm gonna hide those and then move this one over. Ooh. And I want to rotate it out like that. And I made this vest offline, So not too much. Okay. Did I miss? Did Disney Infinity have a printer in-house? Also, do you ever do printing yourself? Yes, they did. They had an oh, what is it called? I'm trying to remember the name of it. I want to say Evotech, but that's not. I don't think that's what it's called. There's, if you look up the making, like Disney Infinity Olaf, I think it's called, the making of Olaf, you can kind of see the printer that it is. It was like an $80,000 printer, some crazy huge printer. And then I would like to get into 3D printing more myself. I would love a Form 2. That's my dream. But right now I haven't printed anything on my own for quite a while. So, okay, that's looking pretty cool. Now I want to add some hard edges to this because it's looking pretty Gumby. So I want to add some interest with hard edges. So, yay. Oh, that'll do it. Video card drivers. EnvisionTech. Yes, thank you very much. And I don't know which model of EnvisionTech, but it was big and expensive, and it did some amazing prints. Yeah, the Form, the Form 2, as cheap as it is for home use, I mean, it's still expensive. It's like what, 3 or 4 grand, something like that, especially when you get loaded up with all the resin and stuff. It is expensive for a person, like a single person, right? But for the quality that thing puts out, it is nice. It's well worth the money if that's what you're gonna do. I'm not sure if I want to make like a hard edge on the inside and the outside, or if I want to put one right down the center like so. It's kind of okay, but I need it to resolve somewhere, so I'm just kind of explaining to you guys what's in my brain. I think I might just put it down the edge here. Let's see. If I've missed anything from you guys, just type it again. It doesn't bug me that you're not like spamming me or anything. Let's see. Their gray resin printed part? Oh no, I should, huh? Let's see, what's wrong with the send off 3D printing services like Shapeways? Just it depends if you pick the correct printer, and you're not really in control of it. I guess I'm more of I want to be in control of what the quality is. If you're trusting of the people who's doing it on the back end, if it's not just some service company, then it's fine. But I've seen prints come back that are not the best quality, and I'm not from Shapeways, just from different printing houses. So I don't know. I would rather have my own printer, but that's me. I haven't used a printing service, but I think Matt Thorpe has, and his turned out okay. There's also printing services, I can't remember the name of it, but there's like people that own printers in their homes, and then they can get on this list, and you can search for those people on the list and then send them prints locally, so you can go pick it up locally and try different printers. They'll tell you what kind of printer they have, and you can send them your STL file and they'll print it out for you. I'm trying to remember the name of that service. If anybody knows, let me know. So the profile I've decided on, I think, is I'm trying to go for kind of a, let's see if I can draw it with this select lasso tool. Let's see. Nope. There we go. Okay, so the profile I'm going for is like up and then rounded and then down, I think, on this. but I'm going to add one level of subdivision and then delete it. So then it's a little more detailed. It's kind of a mess. Okay, let's see. Some well, some brand name. I would love to do some toys like Lena and Troy. They do some super cool stuff. Now that is a company I do trust. Is the gosh, now I forget. Onage. They're called Onage, and they're out of China, and they do some really super good prints. I did a Dozy the alligator, and we used Onage, and it came out really cool. So let's see, some cheaper SLA printers. It's supposed to come out in June. So yeah, the SLA. Tell me what I don't know. I just call them extrusion or resin. I don't know the hip cool name for them. So Guz, yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. If you're still here, thank you so much. I love watching your stuff. I need to watch your streams some more. So, they're dropping printing for about 2 or 3 specific clients, and they want to focus on their own products. Oh wow, that's interesting. Like, are they not using that service, or just for specific clients, or do you know? I need to talk to Troy again, see what they're up to. So anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about because I saw Guz was leaving. Okay, I'm not liking this profile. It's getting lumpy. And sometimes to fix lumps, you can come in with a move tool and just barely touch it and kind of move it back into place, which is tedious to watch, but sometimes it needs to be done. Okay. Those are kind of fun. I wanted to try some stuff with this collar. So let's see, what did I miss? Paint ready right off the printer, so the lines clean up. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. The extrusion printers. We used to have a Zortrax as well to do some very fast prints that you could just, just hold in your hand and look at without waiting 13, 14 hours for the one to come off the big printer. So and that was the best extrusion printer that we could find at the time. And it did a really good job. There's more and more coming out every single day. It's probably the Kickstarter ones you were talking about. They do really nice stuff, and they're getting better surface quality all the time. But yeah, the resin is the way to go as far as FDM. I don't even know. I don't know what that stands for. either it pushes out like a cake decorator, right? Or it's in resin and it uses the camera. I don't know. I'm not a printing expert. I just printed. Cleaned it up and printed it. Oh, but it's fun to do for sure. Let's see. Okay. So tell me, Blue Fire Sound, what does FDM stand for? Filament? Yeah, see, that's like scientific terms. Filament. It extrudes plastic. An LED printer. I wonder. So is it a resin one then, and where the LED lights cure the resin? Glue guns versus laser cure. So I guess there's laser, and then there's photo whatever. So it's like a flash. Fused deposition modeling. There you go. Thanks. LED printer would still be resin. That would be awesome. Huh. Learned something new. Oh, do you know how much Onage charges by chance? They're reasonable. They're really reasonable, and it's based on the part. that they're making and the material that they make it from. And then it's also based on the run, like how many you're gonna do. But they're very, very reasonably priced. That's why they're so busy. So if I had a complaint, it was that they're too busy. So you sometimes have to wait for your part to be printed for quite a while. Oh, how focused the beam is, right? So that's another thing is they talk about the depth, like the Z depth of the print. So they'll say like, oh, this printer prints in, 0.25 microns or whatever. But they never talk about the width. So that's another thing to take into consideration is the width of the beam of the light that's hitting it, right? So you have X, Y, Z, and they only usually advertise the Z. But if you're ever buying a printer, ask them what the X, Y is on the light. So that's why I'm curious. A laser is super tight focused, and the X, Y is very small. So I wonder how the other printers do, if it's LED light. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing with this collar is since it's connected, see this big collar back here? Since it's connected to the vest here, I'm actually going to try and extrude it the old-fashioned box modeling way and just extrude it out of here. But first things first, I need to make it into polygroups. So yeah, it's a round point and very accurate. The photo one, cure a whole layer at once. Right. So, and it depends on with a photo one, it depends on the resolution of the light, right? Of the lens that it's shooting through. Yeah, and I also want to see that clipping technology. Have you seen the clip stuff where it actually like flashes real time as it's pulling it out? That seems awesome, but I have yet to see anything on that. So I'm going to polygroup a single poly and just one at a time make a new polygroup around the collar. I can tell by this angle that I'm going to have problems already. So I might pull this down. The Joel, the 3D printing nerd. That sounds like an awesome guy. I want to know a printing nerd. Sometimes they give away 3D printers at that ZBrush Summit. Crazy. I always try to win one, but I never do. I was in the Sculpt Off once. They were giving a 3D printer away to the first place winner, but I knew I didn't have really a chance at that one. But I did take third place, which completely surprised me. I think the same guy wins every year. I think he's got like 2 or 3 of them. Okay, let's see here. I'm just kind of getting this area ready to extrude. I'm trying to make this light blue area flat-ish. So when I raise it up, hopefully it'll come up semi-consistently rather than on a weird angle. Yeah, the Sculpt Off. Oh my gosh. So that, I have to say, that was the most stressed I've ever been in my life. I'm not gonna lie. It was stressful. I'm in this room full of amazing, amazing sculptors flown in from all over the world, wondering why the hell I'm there. And if mine's just gonna turn out like a turd or something, you know, just some crappy sculpt. Oh man. Yeah, it's a goal. Do it. Do it, do it. But I was one of the stories was I was wearing headphones, right? And I was getting ready for it. And I was so nervous. My headphones were in my ears and the wire was coming down my chest and going over and plugged in to my phone so I could listen to my song while I was sculpting, my radio, whatever. But since the earphones were laying across my chest, I could hear my heart thumping in my ears. Because I was so nervous. I remember I was like, what? Wow. So crazy. Okay, let me unhide everything else to make sure that this is where the collar comes to. Might be one lower. Let's see. Yeah, I'll make it one lower. Yeah, they give out prizes. I won a Hulk, like a Hulk statue. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to extrude polygroup all. Just kind of raise this out. It's not bad. And now, okay, and now I'm gonna, that's another thing you can do with ZModeler is transpose. I can see it from here, my Hulk statue. I would grab it, but it's kind of buried. My office is still in shambles. I moved not too long ago, but maybe I'll try and remember and pull it out for the next stream. But yeah, it's pretty decent Hulk statue as far as Hulk statues go. So let's see how far up. Something like that. Kind of insert edge loop. And then you can also transpose an edge loop. You can say edge loop complete, transpose. You just click on the edge loop and it will mask everything except for that edge loop. Then I'd like to drag this from the center out and use move to push the whole thing in to give it a, so it's kind of has that angle, so it's kind of angled out. Do something like that. Oh, that goes too far down. Yeah, just if you want to compete, if you're interested, just talk to the Pixelogic guys. I don't quite know how their invite system works. So this edge loop partial versus edge loop complete. Edge loop partial will stop at the poles. So see, this is a pole. Like a pole is 5 or more edges coming off of a point. So if I click on this, see how it stops at that pole? Then I can come in here and raise this up. Just on the outside, because I want the transition to come from the vest up the collar to be a little smoother. So I'll raise that up like that. Then the collar is gonna pop out like this. So I want to lower the outside. I'll do the same thing. Just lower it like this. Then it kind of gives me something to extrude off of at a proper angle. I want to insert one more edge here. Whoops. Insert. And then transpose that. Edge loop complete. There we go. What time we got? 9:30. Then we'll extrude this, polygroup all. Okay, this will be kind of tricky. Edge loop partial. Let's see here. Have to keep drawing the transpose line out over and over again. And then from the back. You're going to be doing all the details from that picture in this model. I don't know if I'll have time to do it in the stream. I will eventually do it, but I think it might be too boring to do in the stream because it's just kind of monotonous little detail making. So eventually I would love to, yes. That's the plan. Okay. So you'll notice how it's wide down here and then it tapers and goes up behind her neck. And right here I have the whole thing wide. So I need to mask this off and make it not look like that. Let's see. Transpose polygroup. Just going to start with this front edge collar and then go back. Okay, let's see. I'm using the move to kind of skew it. And I also have to move it up. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to move this up and then I'll fix the ones in between. So I'm getting this back to where I think it should be first. And then I'll fix this. Did I teach at Full Sail University? No, I did not. Where are they located anyway? I just know some people that have gone there. I don't know where it's at, or the only physical brick and mortar school I've ever taught at is it's called the UVU, University Utah. What is it called? University, not the U of U. Anyway, UVU. It's just a little kind of it was a small college turned university not too long ago. Oh, it's in Florida. Cool. I went to boot camp in Florida, in Orlando, back in 1990. There you go. That'll date me. Insert. I was in the Navy for a while. I was a CB, which stands for Construction Battalion. Let's see. Transpose edge loop complete. Utah Valley University. Yep, thank you very much. Utah Valley University, UVU. And it was a while ago and I actually taught animation because I did a lot of animation and rigging and modeling. Kind of the whole, they wanted me to teach some animation. So I did. Oh really? Right on. Transpose edge loop partial.
Keep moving.
And the Marines, really? Nice. I've been to Camp Pendleton, you know where that is? Marine base in California. And I don't know why Seabees are... I don't know why they're not Marines, honestly. Because we pretty much support Marines. When I say we, I should say Seabees. I'm not a CB anymore, but... So, 11-second club? I've never competed in the 11-second club, honestly. I know what it is, but I've just never... I have never done it. So, have you been to Camp Pendleton, Blands? All right, just gonna smooth this out. Okay, Mystic, thank you so much for stopping by. I know it's late for a lot of you, or early, or not in your time zone. Like I said, once I get my course released, I'll be streaming on my own a little bit more. Okay, that is a thick collar. You were there for 3 years. Wow. Yep, you know it well. So we did. I was in the reserves for the last part of it, and we did. So 2 weeks out of the year, and one time we went to Camp Pendleton, and we were doing a mock beach landing, and they were doing like. I was driving the water truck to keep the dust down, and I had to go fill up the water truck next to the. They call it the LCAC, which is essentially the hovercraft station down on the beach. And that was crazy because they were doing all of these different military exercises. Like they would take helicopters and they were dragging for mines, you know, just testing. And it's funny because they were doing this mock beach landing, but we had to grade the beach, like with a grader, you know, like the enemy's gonna grade the beach for you. It's pretty funny. But we set up the tent city for the Marines and stuff like that. Is there a way to center insert edge loop when in ZBrush? I'm not sure. That's a great question. Let's see. Let's try it. Insert. There is a cool trick with insert mesh, which is if you have the Z intensity turned up at all, like let's say like a 14, I'll show you what it'll do. See how it puffs it out? That's pretty cool. But as far as like centering it, let's see if I can snap it. Oh, right. If you hold down Shift, it will actually draw it closer to the opposite side and kind of try and straighten it out. That's one thing. But as far as centering it, I don't think so. That would be a great Ask ZBrush question for Joseph Drust. I think it's, what is it? Hashtag Ask ZBrush? That's a good one. I would like to know that myself. Let's see how this kind of goes straight. So I'm just going to use the transpose edge loop complete, tap on it, and then raise it up. Let's see. Okay, that's meta. Camp Del Mar. I don't know. Is that a real place? If it is, I'm not aware of it. Okay, so with these, see how the bottom part of this collar is more like a regular shirt and it overlaps? I'm gonna cheat this and I'm just gonna build this piece and then overlap it with this piece, and I'm not gonna stitch it in because that's kind of a super pain in the butt. Can I select multiple edge loops when transposing? You cannot. When you can, if you like painstakingly mask, you know, like if you go like this and then invert the mask, you can transpose all of those at the same time. But I don't think you can add to the mask each time. Go like a Joker vest. Totally, it's a Joker vest. There you go. That's funny. Okay. Also, I don't know. Here's another thing: is there's this thing called backface mask. Backface mask will only affect that's how you can make it not affect the opposite side. See how this has thickness to it, and you can think of these brushes kind of like a sphere. So it looks like, you know, this brush right here, it looks like it's a flat circle, but it's actually a sphere. So it will sometimes affect the geometry on the back side. So say if I pull this out like this, you can see that I've pulled it on the inside. So if I turn on backface mask, it will only affect the top side, okay? So you can see how, and you'll never see it because of her neck and her hair and all that junk, but see how it's kind of this rigid stuff going back here, but I don't want to affect the back side. So in order to turn backface mask on your smooth brush, because I'm gonna smooth this out, is you hold down shift, then you turn on backface mask while shift is held down. Then I can smooth this out. See, it's going away. And it won't affect the back side. So there you go. And make sure you turn it back off when you're done. Can you expand the mask after masking just one edge loop? Yes, actually that's a fantastic idea. Thanks, Zigzag. That's how you can do it. Okay, so here we go. Because that's essentially what it's doing, right? It's just masking one edge loop and then throwing the transpose tool on there. So yeah, let's do it really quick. So let's do transpose edge loop complete. If I just tap on one of these edges right here, you can just go to just grow mask right here. It's actually shrink mask, and then you just sharpen it, and now I have two or three. I actually have 3 edge loops masked. So now you can transpose all 3 of those together. Yeah. So awesome, thanks. Thanks for reminding me of that. I get in my head, you know, just going and I forget stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let's see what this is looking like with her head in place. Okay, it looks like I can bring this collar in. Let's make some big moves now. And sometimes with large movements, you can use this move elastic, and this will make larger movements than with just move. Like, it will actually move beyond the brush. So a move brush in itself will only move what's inside this center red circle, and move elastic will kind of go beyond that, if that makes sense. I'm gonna hide her hair for a minute so I can see what's happening. She looks like Mad Max lady for a minute. That's cool. Do you use Maya or Mudbox at all? ZBrush Bliss. I used to use Maya all the time, and I still do occasionally, and it's mainly to just fix UVs, but it's usually to get characters from ZBrush to the game engine. I don't use it as much anymore. I build my entire character usually inside of ZBrush because I can, and it's fun and it's fast. Okay. So I've lost, see this point right here? How it's like a very sharp curve and mine is not. What I can do is go in here and change these, increase them a little bit. So I'm going to crease. I'm going to pull up this edge and then crease it. So transpose. There we go. Crease, edge loop complete. I'm gonna tap on that, and then if I hit D to divide it, then you can see it's nicely creased there. And then I also want to crease down around the front of a few things. I'm trying to decide. Let's see. I'm gonna crease edge loop partial so it stops. Then hit D and kind of take a look at what that looks like. That's kind of how you get more of that infinity look. And I also want to get kind of a taper, so it's the thinnest out here, and then it kind of thickens as it goes in. So I'm going to move some of these. Make it thick to thin, because thick to thin also works. You hear it a lot when you're drawing, you know, make your lines thick to thin, make them thick where it's heavy and thin where it's light. That works in sculpting as well. And it also adds interest. So if everything is, I'm horrible at this too. I'm glad I thought of it, because usually I'll just leave everything one thickness because it's easy. You just use edge loop and it makes everything just one thickness, but it just looks better when it's actually tapered. Okay, fix that just one more time. Okay. Is that better? That's kind of thick to thin. Kind of fun. Okay. So some of my models look wonky. You don't taper. Yeah, it's a really nice thing to do and to look for. See how this belt is not tapering? I'll go through and make sure stuff has tapers on it. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and build this, these collars right here. So I'm gonna build one in asymmetry, and then I'll duplicate it and mirror it. So let me save this really quick. It's a good time to save. Let's see. Then duplicate this, hide the other one. Every time I create something new, like some new piece of armor, I usually duplicate the piece that I'm going to use to draw it on. Then I will turn off symmetry, grab this topology brush, and just start drawing topology. I think I'm going to go a little higher. Let's see. Do you have an outline of topics that your course will cover? I do. In like I made a whole like informational sales video that tells you exactly what it is. So you'll find out soon when you watch that, and you can decide then. But essentially, it covers everything from starting a character from scratch all the way up to making an in-game character and a posed character and a character you can use to print, and you can render it for illustration. I'll show you how to pose it. And let's see. I think that's everything. It's pretty much the whole thing. All of it. I'm gonna put one more I usually put a line down the middle because then it's easier to select that panel. Oh, you just see, okay, see how it has these end bits that are not clean? All you have to do is hold down Alt and drag somewhere on the surface and let go, and it'll clean those edges up. So then if I want to add thickness, it's going to be the thickness of the brush. And if I tap on the surface, then it makes it like that. And let's see, I don't want to do that yet. I just want to have it be one flat surface, and I'll add thickness later because it's easier to edit that way. So what I can do is I turn my draw size down to 1, and then tap on the surface, and sometimes it's hard, it doesn't work all the time. See that? Come on, there it goes. Okay, now it made a single-sided surface after that. And this is why I duplicate whatever I'm drawing on, because I'm going to delete it now. So you just hide it, invert it, hide it, there. Then delete hidden, and then I can show the top again. And now this piece is just on top of the surface, and it's a single plane. See that? But it's hugging the surface too tight. I don't want it to do that. So it's much easier to edit as a single surface than it is to have thickness and try to edit that, right? So I'm just going to come through here and start raising it off the surface. I still want it to be connected, so it looks like it's connected to the vest underneath. So I'll keep this side pretty low and just right on top of the surface. But this opposite side, you can see how it's kind of sitting off the surface, and I'll just pull it off that way. Stick this one way up. The crazy thing with ZBrush is it's a 2D program while you're stopped. Like right here, this is essentially 2 dimensions with Z depth. It's not like 3D viewport like Maya. So that's why if you turn it sideways like this, sometimes when I move it, you'll get this artifacting under here. See this black stuff? Because it's essentially a 2-dimensional program until you rotate it. So as soon as you rotate it, that stuff goes away. And that's when it hits your CPU and tries to decide. That's when it calculates all the points. That's why ZBrush can do millions and millions of polys without choking too much. It's quite ingenious, really. It's a happy accident for sure. I don't think they meant for ZBrush to be what it is. Okay, this is getting quite close. See how this collar, these are starting to touch. So I'm going to change the angle of this down. Yeah, if you have any questions, any more questions, just keep them coming. I like answering questions. Let's see. And I'm just looking for the taper and just even geometry all the way down. And if you are a polygon modeler, that's kind of where your skills come into play. So you're not necessarily polygon modeling again, but you are working this out. Oh, Attila the Nun. Well, thanks for lurking and then saying hello and goodbye. It's awesome. Thank you so much. It's super cool. I mean, how many? 141 people watching, right? And it's crazy that I hope all the people that aren't saying much are getting a lot out of it, which is, I assume, is why you're here. So let's see. Do you find working with the Z modeler faster than using Maya for blocking out shapes like you're doing now? Yes, absolutely. If I don't have to switch programs, I'm not going to. And I actually find it much quicker to box model inside of here. There are certain things, you know, that are difficult in here that I haven't figured out yet. It's just a matter of figuring out the tools. I'm not the greatest with the Z modeler brush yet, but that's the thing with ZBrush is it's always put together kind of in a completely different way, and it's meant for speed and how it kind of makes sense to do it. But when you're conditioned to do it a certain way, like if you're conditioned to do it the way Maya wants you to, and then you try and learn it in here, it's more difficult to learn because you're used to things working a certain way. And they just don't work that way all the time in here. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to duplicate this off just to have it, and then I'm going to hide it, and then just add thickness to this now. And I'm going to add thickness to it with extruding it from the back. So we'll see how this goes. Extrude, polygroup all. There we go. That's great. I love to hear it. And that's another thing with my course. It's I spent a lot of time organizing it, and it's scripted. So I do. It's not like here where I'm saying and and what, and it's scripted, and I read my script that I made, and I show you examples, and there's video up top, and there's text down below with pictures, so you can reference it. You can go through it and reference it. Which it's essentially, I call it, it's the course that I wish I would have had first starting out. Saving project file. Okay. So I kind of think of it like that, you know. Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're at in your life, if it's expensive or not, because comparing it to Maya, that's $3,000, it's not as expensive, right? Yeah, exactly. So, and you can do a ton with it, and if you learn it, you can make money with it. So it just kind of depends. And if you aren't ready to buy ZBrush right away, they have ZBrush Core, and ZBrush Core is kind of an entry level into ZBrush, and it's like it's $100 on its own, I believe, or 150. I think it's $100. Correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have Kyle here to correct me, but so I think it's $100, and they also have a bundle that's $200. Where did I put it? Here. Here we go. Looks like this. Ta-da. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it comes with a Wacom tablet, and you can get started. I have my kids learning it. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to be giving a kind of intro to ZBrush Core stream on the 21st. So I won't be modeling her anymore. I'm going to be talking about ZBrush Core. So you can come watch that if you'd like. Yeah, Maya LT, but LT it's missing a lot of stuff. But it's a good way to learn it for sure. We tried to use LT in production, and it's just not possible. It's missing too many features. Okay, let's see. Thanks, Blands. You can be our Kyle tonight. Because it's LT, which means light. It's Maya light. Okay. Oh. How's it going, Dr. Bo? Dr. Bo? I don't know how you pronounce. I think I'm following you. I've watched your stream a couple times. I think it's the same. I have a bad memory. Okay, let's see. Making this. Let's Let's hit D and see how well it's looking. Okay, and I want to taper this again. And I want to make sure I have this point. See, this point comes clear out here? Right on. Okay, I thought I recognized your name. Thanks for dropping by. Okay. Crease, edge, just one single edge. Oops. Okay, now this is a pretty cool trick to add some thick to thin along this edge, is I can go to move and tap here. See, this is why I put the line down the middle, is so I can tap on one of these dots in the middle. If I didn't have that dot, it would be hard to grab just this section. So that's why I put the line down the middle, and to get this nice arc through the center here. But now what I can do is I can kind of put my transposed line in the center and then rotate it like so. There's my thick to thin. Easy. Let's see. Oh, Jason. Hey man, how's it going? And thank you so much. Good to see you. I'm glad you stopped by before the end of the stream this time. Give a chance to say hello. Oh, thanks, Dr. Bo. Let's see, on the 21st, what time? Same time as this, so yeah, it's the same bat channel. So I guess it's what, 7 o'clock Pacific time? Is that when it starts? I believe the schedule's on ZBrush. The Twitch Pixelogic. It's on here when I'm not streaming, or when people aren't streaming. You can see the schedule there. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you rewatched it? Cool. Listen to me, Babylon. Babylon. Okay. Let's see, does ZBrush Core have Z Modeler and Z Sphere topology? Yeah, it is missing a few things. I'm going to kind of focus on what it has and what you can do with it rather than what it doesn't really. Yeah, it is missing a few things because it is a light version. It's kind of like the Maya LT version of ZBrush. So I'm not sure if I don't think it doesn't have the topology brush, because it's meant for more of experimenting, like with Dynamesh and putting stuff together. It's a super light version. So let's see. Check this out for comparison of features between Core. Oh, perfect. Thank you. And I did a ZBrush Core demo video. If you look on YouTube and just type Shane Olson ZBrush Core, you'll find it. I just go through and make a bunch of animals with it so you can see what's possible. Are there ever weeks where you don't feel like sculpting, and if so, how do you push through those hard times? You know what? I don't know if there ever is, because it's just what I do. It's crazy. That's how you know what your passion is, right? Is when you go home after a full day of sculpting and you just want to sculpt more. It sounds really weird, but that's what I like to do. Like when I'm not sculpting, I'm sculpting. It's crazy. I haven't lately because I've been working on my course, but I do that a lot. But when I do occasionally hit a creative slump, and I have a Pinterest page just for that purpose, and it's called Inspirational Characters, and it's just a big page full of two-dimensional artwork that has inspired me in one way or another that I'll just pop on there, you know. And I've collected art over, I don't know, geez, the past like 8 years or so, and just anytime I see something really cool, and I'll throw it in there. So, oh, thanks, Dr. Bo. Awesome. Questions answered. Okay, so for this, I duplicated this one off, but I think I'm going to delete it and duplicate this new one again because it's kind of better. And it already has that, it has the thickness and everything, and I'll just chop the thickness off. So let me duplicate this new one, grab it and mirror it. Mirror. Okay. So now, this is the tricky part. I need this one to go underneath this one. Oh, where can you find the course? So I'm right at the very end of finishing it. And it got put off a little bit because I got some really good contract work. So that took up all my time. And I'm waiting for one certain feature on the course hosting website that I'm using, and that should be out any day now. But I'm finishing up the very last section. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can start the release process this weekend. But the link is 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Thank you very much, Jason. So if you sign up for my free brushes, my free user interface, and my ruler, you'll get on my news group and you will be notified when it comes out, which is super soon. So, oh yeah, Reginator. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of sick in the head that way. When it comes to, like, when I'm not sculpting, I'm sculpting. It's crazy. Because I love it so much. I don't know. But I do have to say, when I was working on Disney Infinity, you know, when you're working a job and you, as an artist, you have like this double-edged sword, right? You're so creative that you have to keep filling that creativity bucket to be more creative. If you're an artist, you'll understand what I'm saying. But so usually during the day you're working your job, and if it's creative, great. If not, then you go home, and you know, when everybody's asleep, or you know, on your spare time, you will get creative and either draw or paint or do music or anything to fill that bucket, right? And that's kind of the case most of the time, except for, I have to say, on Disney Infinity, that was an incredible time where my creative bucket was being filled during the day. So at night I didn't feel like I needed to go home and keep going. So that was very unique and cool, and I miss it dearly. So, but I'm super excited about this course, and I really like helping people fill their creative buckets and get better. So I'm excited about that a lot, because I have some people going through the beta right now, and they're doing an amazing job, and it's really fun seeing their progress and helping them out. Right? Raven, that's exactly it, right? That's it. Yeah, yep, it was great for its time. It was awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna chop this tail off here. And how to do that is just with the where you can just delete hidden, like so. Delete hidden. Now I'm going to cap this off. Usually in ZBrush I like to work in solids. I don't leave too many holes open. And it's kind of hard because when you're coming from a game engine, you know, when you're working on game engines is in your head, when you have to delete polygons for sake of not having too many polygons, like hidden polygons that nobody's going to see, you tend to delete them. So I had to change my mindset when I went to ZBrush, because you need to keep them. So, okay. Nicholas, welcome to the stream. You guys know each other, huh? Nicholas, are you a miniature maker as well, or just know Raven from streams, or what? To fill this hole right here, I just use bridge in the Z modeler. So if you hover over an edge, click on bridge edges, you just click on the first one, click on the second one, and it bridges it. Easy, easy, done. Then I just come along here and crease these edges. Crease edge. Boom, boom. Oh, not extrude. Okay, hit D, and then unhide. Here we go. There. I need to edit this a little bit. Is this connected to any IP? No, it's not. This is just a Johannes special. I love, yeah, speaking of being inspired, that guy, his stuff is fantastic. So I asked him if I could have permission to sculpt this one because it was so cool and it had so many little themes running through it with these octopus or squid or whatever you want to call them. It's just super well designed. So I'm like, hey, I want to model that. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to chat as much as I should. What's the pin cushion thing? Yes. Yeah. Diarbo. What? How do you? Is it Dr. Bo or Diarbo? I don't know. What? Tell me how you want to say. Want me to say that? So yeah, that's just a preview of where your vertices are in space when you. Because I'm using dynamic subdivision. And dynamic is just like hitting 3 on your keyboard in Maya. It's just a preview. It's not a real subdivision. So, let's see. Really surprised ZBrush 4R8 has not been released. Yes, they're doing some really big things with it. I know a couple of the beta testers. They don't say much, but it's based on the ZBrush Summit last year and what they kind of showed in that. And they were making ZBrush Core, so the lead programmer's time was split between ZBrush Core and ZBrush 4R8. That's why there's not a 5, I believe. So it's kind of like a little bit of a setback for them, kind of like the setback for my course. So just taking a little bit of time. So, Dr. Bo, it's all good, man. Let's see. Original creation for Johannes. Yep. I don't think it's connected to any IP. Yes, which is funny because I saw you working on this. So I was like, hey, I want a resin cast that. Yeah, right? Down the line, inspiration goes. So, I mean, who knows, right? We could cast this, pose it really awesome, and we'll have to talk to Johannes and see what he has in mind for this, if anything. Okay, let's see. What else? Do I make sculptures, like physical sculptures, like with real clay? I only fiddle. I have not made any professionally in my life. Just digital. I'm a digital sculptor. I have this thing on my foot. There you go. There you go, doctor. Do you think it's possible for someone to get to your level just by sculpting and not taking courses on how to make characters? Is it possible? Sure. You know, anything's possible if you put the dedication into it, and the course is the fast road, and you know, if going through free YouTube videos is the slow mode. So it's up to you, I guess, what you want to do. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put I want to put this piping around the bottom here. And to do that, let's see. Do the next version 2 years more. Yeah. Just thought of something stupid. There's a family doctor. Doctor. That's a Thompson Twins song. Doctor. And you get singing for no extra cost. It's possible, why not stand on the shoulders of giants if it's an available option? Yep. Yeah, it's up to you. Oh, thanks, Jace. You want to see it? Yeah, like I said, it's just a shortcut. If you want the, you know, it's just the fast way to get there. That's why I created it, so you guys don't have to spend hours and hours on YouTube or watching free videos or whatever. Okay, let's see. I'm going to, like, to make this piping around the bottom, I'm going to duplicate this, hide the other one, and I just want this bottom piece. And I want this pipe that's going up right here, or this row of polys. So, let's see. I just want this purple surface and delete the rest. Then I'm going to use my ZModeler brush and let's see, poly group, and then this is cool, poly loop. So if I poly group, poly loop, see if you look close, there's this little orange line. See that little orange line? That's the direction of the poly loop. So see how it's facing up now? If I tap, it's going to grab the poly loop that goes up. It's super cool. So now I just want a couple of these polygons going right here, but I don't want it mirrored, so I'm turning mirror off. And let's see, poly group, a single poly. Let's see. I think it's a cost, it's more of an investment. I know money can be hard to get up front, but if there's a way you can save a little away each time, yep. Yes, I agree with you, Raven. And like you said, everybody's circumstances is different though, so if it comes down to it, if all you can afford is like ZBrush Core or ZBrush, do that and then get a course on it when you can afford it, you know? Just one thing at a time, baby steps, but you should be sculpting. That's how you get better, is by practicing and sculpting, practicing and sculpting. But if you're getting feedback from someone who's been there, then yes, it will accelerate your learning for sure. So once again, to answer your question, is it possible? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, SO. Yep, so thanks, Jace, posting that again. Let's see. Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to give you a super good rundown so you can make the decision. And I'm also giving a warranty, so I'm getting a little too far into the weeds with it right now. I'm not ready to reveal everything about it, but it's going to be cool. I'm excited to show you guys. Okay, I'm going to extrude this now. Extrude, polygroup all. Extrude it out, and then I'm going to extrude it in as well. I'm tripping over my words tonight for some reason. Kind of tired, it's been a long week. I helped my dad move furniture this morning. He's getting hardwood floors, so we had to move all the furniture out. There we go. Okay. And fill object. So now it looks like it's overlapped without actually being overlapped. And then I can just kind of fix this and overlap this. Super cheaty way. Because that's the beauty of working in ZBrush. Because in the end, you're going to be retopologizing this whole thing anyway in a much better way. So it's better just to cheat everything and, you know, get away with as much as possible. Let's see. Good ZBrush coupon code, and there is a form on ZBrush Central. What? So I've seen, the cheapest I've seen it, well, I'm not gonna say it. This is Pixelogic's channel, so I'm gonna do the right thing and not say. But I'll just say look around. You can find ZBrush at good prices. Let's see. Can't wait till your course comes out. I always wanted to learn how to make those cool figurine toys. Oh, thank you. I can't wait till it comes out either. Soon, soon. Very soon. Insert. But the thing is, I'm going to say this right now. If you get ZBrush from Pixelogic, you will get the support. And that is a big thing. Especially if you're in production. If you ever run into any problems, their support is fantastic. So if you run into problems and buying it from a reseller, you don't get the support the same way. Let's see. You might, but I'm not sure. But I know you do when you buy it directly. I'm going to use this transpose and do the edge loop complete. And here's another trick is if you want to move out something on its normal, you can right click on this outer red ring and just move it on its normal. See that? It's pretty cool. Yes, Raven. That's a good point right there. Those guys are really great. Like, they've been nothing but stellar to me. And also, what I cannot believe, and it's kind of something I'm going to follow with my course, is I cannot believe every update is free. Like every update they've done ever since ZBrush 1.0 has been a free upgrade. And they're on what, 4R8 now? It's insane. And there's some things like in my course that I want to do that aren't ready yet that I'm going to tack on and I'm not charging anything extra for. It's just, I'll be updating, I'll just be updating it and adding it in there without any extra cost. Because I believe in taking care of your customer so much. Because it's better to have people happy and tell their friends that they're happy than it is to nickel and dime people to death, in my opinion. You know, there's software out there that like every year they want another $100 or something. And it's like, for what? What do you, why? You know? Sorry on my little rant. Yeah, 2002. That's insane. That is insane. Go Pixelogic. So good. Okay, I need to... I'm gonna do that poly loop trick again. See how I have a poly group that's the same color on the outside and the inside? I need to make the inside a different color so I can shrink that more. Unity 3D, follow that? Yeah, Unity. For sure. Let's see, let me do poly group, poly loop. Whoops. There. Now I can, let's see, go remove, mask this off, and you know, okay, remember that circle trick that I said you can click on the circle and it'll center it? If you have symmetry on, it's going to center it in half of the mass, but it respects masking. So if I turn symmetry off and I hit that white circle, it orients the transpose tool kind of weird, but that's okay, because all I care about is this center point. And I know that this center point is centered in the masked area or unmasked area right here. So now what I can do is bring this in, because I want it to be snug up against her stomach here. There we go. Because I don't want a gap here in case I'm going to 3D print this thing. I want it to be solid. There we go. Okay, let's see. I agree about the nickel and diming people. I put 400 wax order with a different company. $2 salary on top. Yes, and I actually sent a new invoice. Oh, $2. Yeah, that's really nickel and diming, right? Holy cow. Okay, I think I'm going to crease the edges on this. I want it to be nice and smooth with crisp edges, because that's kind of the Disney Infinity look, and I can't let go of that because I like it so much. Let's see. So here's a trick. Okay, see how there's different polygroups, and I can do a crease by polygroups right now, which is right here, crease by polygroups. And if I hit D, it's going to crease almost everything how I want it. I can get to this point, and then I can come back in with the Z Modeler brush and crease these areas by hand. That's one way. Or I can do groups by normal, hit that, and what that does, you can see that it's going to put a poly group on every side before it turns a certain angle. So like a 90-degree angle. I think it's 60 degrees, and you can set that angle over underneath crease by poly group, or group by polys. What did I just say? Group by normal. That's what this little thing is. See this tolerance? 45. So it's 45 degrees right here. But you can change this depending on if it's grabbing everything that you want or not. Now I can do crease by poly groups again, and I get the nice tight edges that I want. There we go. Okay, let's see. Hidden jewel. Yeah. Let's see, your character looks really cool. Thank you very much. How long did it take to reach this stage? So, are you talking about like my personal knowledge, or this actual character? How long did it take to get here? Okay, T Marshall, cool. So let's see. What's this? My 5th stream? So 3 hours. So 3 hours times 5, but I've been talking the whole time I've been doing it, so it slowed me down quite a bit. If I just have my headphones on and I'm cranking, then it goes a lot faster. I'd say almost half the speed, if I was to guess. I'm not sure. I don't know. I just go. So yeah, with the chatting. 6th stream. Okay, thank you. Let's see. I was meeting the other day selling them in ZBrush. I brought up the point about Pixologic not charging for upgrades. Getting it. Yes. Yep. It's so huge to me. And oh, thanks. Thank you very much. I feel like Elvis. Thank you very much. So let's see. Doing these, and then, you know, I'm trying to find things to show you guys that are new, like this octopus, like how I would create that. So I'm wondering what else I could show you guys that's new. I guess I could show you this thing with these little bands. What time is it? 10:30. I have 30 minutes. Okay, because it's also duplicated down here on her hip. Or I could start painting tattoos. That's a little too soon to be doing that. And this, I guess the sword, it's kind of soon to be doing that too, but let's see. I know only the basic of drawing, so I can be a good 3. So I think your question is, if you can only draw a little, can you be a good sculptor? And I hesitate, but the answer is yes, you can sculpt without being good, but you have to be good at anatomy, and you have to be good at your volumes and silhouette and form and rhythm. There's a whole bunch that goes into the knowledge that it takes, and a lot of that you learn from drawing. So yes, you can be a good sculptor. Like, I'm not the best draftsman when it comes to drawing, but you know, I can sculpt okay. Let's see, despite moving on from this character, are you going to be eventually finishing this character? Because I'd love to see the final version. Yes, I will be finishing this for sure, but not necessarily on this stream. And then the ZBrush core thing is just kind of like, I'm just pausing this and then moving on. So I'll probably continue with her after the ZBrush core stream, if that's your question. Let's see, I don't want to miss the sword and sheath. It'd be awesome if the sword could be inserted. For sure, I can build the sheath right around the sword so it can work, you know, you can pull it out. So I want to say, love your work, man. Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by and sharing the knowledge. It's really fun. Gets me all jazzed. So, okay, let's do that shoulder thing really quick. This thing right here. Why not? Because I think you guys have seen me make the belts in different streams, and that's really easy. Just draw on the topology, and then there's the chaps, however you call it. This bit down here, and I was just gonna do that like I made the underside of the bracers and just mask it off and then Z-remesh it and make some thickness. So let's see, do you have your own Twitch channel? Yes, I think it's at the very tippy top up there. You can see it saying Twitch TV/Shane Olson Art. That's my personal one. I haven't been streaming on there because I'm really trying hard to get my course done, and my course is almost done. And as soon as it's done, I'll be streaming on my personal channel a lot more, and at better times for people that don't live in the US. So I'll be streaming early, so you guys on different time zones can actually watch when it's not 3 in the morning. So yeah. Okay, let's see. So let's so how would you guys think I would go about making this based on what you've seen so far? Any takers? How I would do it? I'm gonna give you a second. It's blind. Too funny. Let's see, I'm gonna duplicate. I'm just gonna get started, and I'm not gonna say checking your channel out when you go live. Yep. Oh, thank you very much. 2:30 on the clock, Raven. 12:30. You must be like Colorado or something. Make a glob or mask the shoulders and extract. You could do it that way for sure, but make a glob is so there's there. I thought about making a glob, but this is very round. So what I was thinking about doing, I'm going to duplicate. Remember, duplicate the object that you want to start on. Oh, is it Eastern? Okay. Across the lake from Ashley. Right on. So I was going to do an insert multi-mesh, and I have to delete the lower on this. Then I'm going to try and grab this quad sphere, turn off symmetry because this is only on one side. Drag this out. Then I already have kind of pretty much this piece if I delete a section of it. So I'm going to isolate this and then delete hidden because I only want this piece, and then unhide the body. Then I can start from here and squish this quite flat. There. Then I can just start shaping it however it is. I can put it closer. Let's put it closer to where it needs to be. So this is just one way. There's so many different ways of doing. You're essentially just trying to get geometry there, right? You just want it there to then manipulate. And I usually try and look for the fastest way I can get there. And this has kind of a stop sign shape going on. Even though it's round, it still has kind of a stop sign shape looking like a crest, like that. Yeah. Okay, but see how it's rolled around more? Local symmetry, you can, but not like you're thinking. If you're gonna do local symmetry like that, it's probably best to build it in symmetrical space, like down on 0, 0, like down on the floor, you know, like build it from the front. Like if I were to build it down here first, then finish it and move it up there. I've done that a lot of times, especially on a very technical piece. But this octopus right here is kind of asymmetrical anyway. So I'll just build it up here just and see how it goes, just for fun. So even though I'm showing this to you this way, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm absolutely right. You know, this is just one way I thought about doing it. So let's see. Then I also want, and I don't know why I deleted the back, but I did. I'm thinking about going back. Because a lot of times I can think through this and I'm not chatting, you know? So instead of just going for it, let's see. Because I can add thickness to this, but it's gonna add an actual like lip on it, which I might want. But let's see. So if I turn on double, that's what this is right here on my interface, double, so you can see both sides, but it's just a single-sided edge poly. Ugh. Then if I extrude it, so let's see, if I go to the Z modeler, let's see what happens if I just extrude this. See, it's gonna put a lip around it like that and actually make it have an inside, which is okay. It's not too bad. But I do want it to have this border around here, just kind of like we put the border along the vest. There's borders everywhere, even on the ends of these. So I can just extrude this out. And that's the thing with extrude, with this Z modeler brush. You can do, just like I was doing with poly group, you can choose poly loop. So you can extrude a poly loop, and as long as you have that little orange directional line, you can extrude it out without having to have that poly grouped first, which is super cool. I mean, that's essentially, I've built it, right? So it's there, and now I can just edit it, but pretty quick. Let's see. Yeah, we're distracting frame. Alt select polygons? What? I don't understand the question, sorry. Let's see, I want to have this kind of roundish, so I'm going to put insert an edge along here. Insert, and remember, when you insert an edge, if you want it to be kind of rounded, you can turn up this Z intensity to about an 8. Then when you click on here, see how it added it? It actually gave it some kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, an offset. So it's not just sticking to the surface, it's not just flat. So how did you bring up these sphere IMM you selected? Oh, that's just a brush that I have. It's this insert multi-mesh brush. It's a brush that I made. It's and you can get it over on my website at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can download it and install it. But you just push M and you can see all of the primitives that I have loaded up on here. And it's just a bunch of different resolutions of spheres. And then there's a cube and a cube split and a quad cylinder. So like the cylinder, see how it has quads instead of a pole? And it comes pre-creased as well. And there's no there's no loops down the length of it. So it's really easy to make a cone or something like that. Because you can just like mask off the bottom and then tap on the top and make a cone like that. Or let's see. So if you select this cube split, that's just a cube that's been split in the center like that. And the reason I did that is so if you wanted to make like a belt buckle that's curved in the center, you can curve it like this. And then when you subdivide it, it's nice and round and smooth and like a buckle. Anyway, that's just a free brush that I have over on my website you can grab. And it'll put you on my newsletter, and I send out an email maybe once a month or every 2 months or something like that. Not too often. So, and it also has my ruler file. It's a project file. See this right here? This is my project that I always start with. And what that does is it puts a ruler on the very top. Like this. So then I can measure my characters. And it's a 2-meter ruler in Maya, and it's a 20 centimeter ruler, you can look at it like that, or a 200 millimeter ruler for printing, for 3D printing. So that's another thing that I made for myself and found useful and thought I'd share it with you guys. So okay, I have something to show you guys. This is pretty cool. So see how this see how the orange is all stuck up in there? Well, say I wanted to pull it all out so this whole thing is flat. I could use this clip brush, because a lot of, yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping by. Come back. Let's see, I got another 15 minutes, I guess. So pretend I wanted to flatten this out. What I would do, normally people use the clip brush, this clip curve right here, not the trim curve, but the clip curve, to clip stuff off like this, right? And that makes it all flat and nice. But what if I wanted to bring the inside out? Well, I can mask it off. Since it's its own poly group, I masked it off. And you're not going to be able to see it until I turn it. But if I point the clip curve brush, see how the fall off is going the other way? See, it's aiming towards the thing. It's going to pull all that geometry towards that dotted line. So now if I let go, see that? It's all flat. Booyah. Yep. So now it's flat. Anyway, just a little trick. Little trick. Okay. And here's another one. I wanted to get, see how this is going over her shoulder, like it's tighter around her shoulder than I have it? I can either like use the move brush and go around here and pull it around, or I can use that trick that I showed you guys a couple sessions ago, where you can use the skew. Thanks, Squid Tank. I'm glad you can get all these out of it. Let's see. So I'm using this move skew trick. And what that does is if you hold down Alt, you can skew it in a direction. So then it looks like a turtle shell. And I'm also going to skew it in this direction. And notice I pull the ends off like this because it's a bell curve. So this end is kind of pinned down and this end is pinned down. And then if you think of it like an animation curve, like it's a sweeping bell curve when you go to bend it. So you want to kind of pull the points out beyond the edge so you can bend it around. Then I can go back and kind of move these down. That way it should wrap around the shoulder better. And it's upside down. There we go. So let's nest that down on there and see how it looks. Tilt it a little bit. All right. I'm just looking at the overall shape. Okay, let's crease some of these edges. Let's see if we can get it looking better. Crease, edge loop complete. Let's see, I even want that pulled down farther, so I am going to use my move brush. Another really cool move brush is, you guys ever use the snake hook brush? You've probably used the snake hook brush in the past if you have. It's pretty cool to use with hair because it will kind of grab something and pull it out. Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Are you taking off? Thank you so much. I'm glad when people get a lot out of it. With the snake hook brush, so let's see, brush snake hook. So BSH is the hotkey for that. And you can see this. See the snake hook brush right here. If you turn the setting down, the Z intensity down to like I don't know, like 80, like a 60, something like that, then you can use it as kind of a squishy move brush. And it works a little differently than move in the fact that I can't describe the feeling of it other than it's squishy. And it kind of pulls in a direction. It doesn't just pull straight in the direction you're taking your brush, but it's kind of, I don't know, you should try it out. It's just squishy. So let's see. Oh, hey Butters. Thank you, Resoner's Rage. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Technical term, yeah. Squishymovebrush.com. Snake hook. I need to get that on my interface. I don't know why I have it out here, but I use it enough. I should pull it out here. There we go. See, that's looking pretty legit, I think. Except for this is way too tall now. Let's bring that back down. Okay. So from this angle, a little wider. Okay. Different effects from Move Elastic. Yeah, it is for sure. So Move Elastic has a wider fall off. Like the fall off is really broad. And then, yeah, sculpting a hot marshmallow for sure. Squishy. And then, so Move Elastic is really good for hair if you're wanting to move a lot, you know, with, it's like if you want to move a lot at the same time. And if you're a traditional sculptor, if you use wed clay versus like Sculpey, it's like wed clay. It's really fast to move around, and Sculpey's kind of slower and more difficult. So that's my comparison. It's squishy. Okay. Let's see. If you were designing a character that had a number of outfits, push up, some don't, how would you handle the outfit changes in the game? So, excuse me, usually if you're gonna do something like that, you will export the body with the parts. So, for example, I have the head connected to the chest area right here, and it ends. This is by itself right here, just like that. It's not part of the body. So when I would make an outfit, I would export like the tummy with the top. So when you'd switch, it would come with the tummy, even though it would look the same, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's kind of how it would work. I don't know if that's a good explanation, but it depends. It usually covers the entire thing. So if you're swapping out arms instead of a torso, the arm would come with the armor. Like when you switch it out, it's not like it's not how you would think. It's not like it's a naked character and you're just swapping the clothes on top of the naked character. You're actually swapping the arm out with the arm clothes. Yeah. In animated movies, it would be multiple character assets. Yeah, animated movies are a bit different because they use stuff like cloth sim and, you know, and they would, there's a lot of times they would duplicate the same character and put different clothes on each character, and then they would swap them out the same way. Because they take different rigs if they have different clothing, it's all kind of crazy. But movies, rigging characters for film is a bit different than rigging them for games. It's getting closer and closer every day, but that's kind of how it is. So, okay, let's see. Now another thing I usually would do, see how I did this, the piping around the bottom of the vest? It's a separate piece, and the piping around this shield piece is actually integrated. It's welded in there. I'm tempted to pop it off of there because it makes a much sharper edge if you have two separate pieces. It will make more subtools possibly, or yeah, I just like to keep them separate. That's another thing coming from the modeling world of Maya or box modeling, is you tend to want to weld everything together because that's the easiest to rig, right? And I do, when I'm retopping stuff at the end, when I'm doing the retopology, I'll weld everything in together. But when I'm modeling it, I like to keep them all separate because that creates the cleanest edge. So I think I'm going to take a second and pop that off. So let's see. Interchangeable parts, yeah. Yeah. Industry term for cast parts for this is modular. Yeah, it's kind of like modular parts, for sure. You can think of it that way. Okay. So I'm going to polygroup this and make it a separate piece. And I'll show you how to do that. Polygroup, polyloop. Also too, a cool way to assign polygroups is you click and hold and then you can tap Alt and it'll cycle through polygroup colors. So I wasn't quite seeing that yellow good enough, so I deleted it. Now I want to pop this piece off, and how you do that, the easiest way is to go like hide everything you want to stay and make this border show and just say split hidden. And now it's made two different polygroups. You can see here's one without the piece and here's just the ring. Now it's kind of a slow process and dumb, but what I'll do is I'll bridge this. So I'll do bridge. I wish I could bridge an entire loop to an entire loop, but I don't know of a way to do that. So I'll just painstakingly go around and bridge. So talk amongst yourselves for a moment. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. Save T Marshall, thanks. I do have, it does auto save every 10 minutes. But yeah, I'll do it right now. Boom. Let's see, is there a plugin to manage subtools? So used to Maya's outliner and I wish ZBrush had it. So there's a third-party plugin, but I don't really care for it. That's a subtool manager. I actually just, when I get so far, I will go back and I'll organize my subtools by the list and by the name. I'll go through and rename all these. See how they're just like body, 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 body. And that's because I've duplicated them over and over and over again. And they just keep renaming themselves and adding another number. But what I'll do to organize my subtool list is I will usually put the uppermost thing in the scene at the very top of my subtool list, so like the hair. And then I would put like these hair bands. I'm pointing to my screen like you can see it. Like these hair bands would be next, and then the head and the eyelashes and the eyes and so forth, all the way down to the boots. The boots are at the very bottom of the subtool list. That way I can kind of scroll through them and find them. But I usually don't click over here on the subtools because I select my subtools by holding down Alt and tapping on that subtool. So like if I wanted to work on this belt, you just hold down Alt and tap on it. Now I'm working on the belt, or I'm working on the hair, or I'm working on this. So see how I'm not having to go through my list and find them that way. So let's see. For Subtool Master, the only thing I really use from Subtool Master is Mirror, and that's why it's out on my interface right here. But sometimes I'll use it to apply, I don't know, poly paint to everything, or there's different things I'll use it for, but I don't use it that much. I use Transpose Master for posing, but not Subtool Master very much. Let's see. And Black Bob Ross there, they are working on something. I don't know when it's coming out or if it'll be out for this next one, but that's Paul Gabery said that's like the most requested thing that people ask for, is a way to organize subtools like into folders and groups and things like that. So they're very aware, but I'm sure it's a hard problem to solve just based on how ZBrush is built. So I hope that answers your question. How many cool tricks? I don't know. Is there a written resource out there for these neat tricks? They're not all in one place that I know of. I'm trying to put them, as many of them as I can remember, into my course that I'm making right now. But I don't know that there's like one, here's a cool list of all the tricks. I wish there was. That'd be cool. It's something to think about for sure. Okay, I'm just going to put an edge loop along here and smooth this out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be ready for 4R8. We'll see. That'd be very nice. Then I'm going to go through and bridge the ring. So let's see, bridge. Come on, bridge. There we go. Fingers crossed. But something that I can easily turn on and off. A whole bunch of duplicate original models, similar to how organized. Yeah, for sure. Resin or something like that. You can hide and show in there. So what he's talking about is this Subtool Master right here. It has all these cool little things. So you can fill everything and delete invisible. If you do things like this, then it's super handy. I'm sure there's a lot of users out there that couldn't live without it. So I'm sure it has its purpose. I just don't use it that much in my workflow. Let's see. Sorry, this is taking a while. Boop, 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 boop. Come on. There. Okay. So now what we can do is I'm going to crease poly groups, hit D, and then I'm going to show, and now you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And it's also nice because you can colorize different parts. Now that there's a separation between those two items, now I can grab this color and just fill it. So now there's a nice ring around there. I mean, I could have done it with them being the same piece, but it just creates a much nicer separation between the two objects, especially when you go to bake maps later on. So, yep, Koopa Shell. Should make it blue, right? That one in Mario Kart that kills everybody with spikes. Sure, somebody to do this. Yep, there's so much stuff in here. It's so huge. ZBrush is a gigantic beast. I mean, I've been using it for, gosh, 7 or 8 years, and I've still learned stuff all the time. All the time. Okay, looks like it is 11 o'clock. Made some pretty good progress tonight. As far as this guy, I'll probably just, I would duplicate this and subdivide it up until it has enough geometry that I would mask that squid design off and then pop it off the surface. So, yep. Is there a way to pick colors from the spotlight pictures? There is, but it's a great thing you asked that because you have to hit Z to show this ring. Then when this ring is showing, you can color pick colors off of here by hitting C. And you can hover over, see how the color is changing as I roll over this? But if the ring is gone, then it'll just pick the background color. See the gray? It's not gonna work. So, there you go. Hope that helps. Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. And like I said, if you want to try out ZBrush, there's a trial down below. If you want to get into ZBrush for pretty cheap, you can get ZBrush Core. I will be streaming and talking about ZBrush Core on the 21st, I believe. I'll show you how to use ZBrush Core a little bit and get you started. And yeah, thanks so much for dropping by. This has been a fun one. Yeah, she's coming along. She'll be fun to pose. I would love to. I'd love to pose her and print her out eventually. It'd be cool. So, thank you. Yes, and thanks for joining me. If it's early morning or super late night, you guys are diehards. It makes me feel good. You spend your night watching me. Crazy. Yes, I want to print her, and if I do, I'll show you guys. I'll make sure you guys see it. So, yep. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. And feel free to sign up for my free brushes and user interface and ruler file. You'll get on my news group to be notified about my course coming super soon. Yes, and Jimmy, I do use Keyshot, so and I cover it in my course. So, yep, 5 hours of sleep. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good night. See you on the flip side. Time lapse the print. I might try to do that. That's a good idea. All right, see you.